Hi there, everyone, and welcome to episode 147 of the All You Can Hear podcast. I'm Wenzel, and with me today are three lovely co-hosts.
Hello, my name is Waking from the cold, cold winter to forage for berries. Colt. That's what we're doing today, right?
Yeah.
Hello, it's Boy Kilothermic Pat.
Okay.
And I've just waken up.
Yeah. You don't look like you just woke up. You actually look pretty comfortable.
No, the thing was
Because
Johnson.
I'm cold as shit.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, Johnson, in order to save time in the morning, he just dresses it what he wants to wear the next day and just goes to sleep in that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I sleep in jeans and socks.
Man, you're a brave fucking man. I could never do that.
No, not really. That would be fucking hell.
Yeah, everybody, it's cold. It's cold down here. And that is not on you guys. But today, I am leading this episode as a special little chat. Some might call it, I would call it, Wenzel's Critter Chat. And that's it.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Talk about them little dangs.
Look at Wenzel. He's all grown up now.
Yeah, I'm a,
All right.
I thought my
I don't
phone.
know why you're spanking us, but...
Oh, we're bad boys.
It's a slow clap, dumbass.
Oh, he's being sarcastic.
No,
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm real proud of you.
dick. No, he's slow spanking us. That's what I like to think.
Bad boy.
That is not what I... Oh, okay. Anyway, so if you're wondering, what is this? Well, if you follow my Instagram, Twitter, you know that my dog Gabby is not my only pet. Before I go in more deeply, I would just like to say, as a disclaimer, this is not a care guide. I will not be going into the care of any of these animals, yes, multiple animals that I am mentioning.
It's up to you to take care of your own pet.
Yeah, well,
I can say one thing for you not to do. Do not do this. I am saying this. This is something that you should not do. Do not put them in a sock and swing them. Don't do that. I'm telling them not to. Don't do it. That's a terrible thing. I know you had.
Don't
the
make
idea.
a blackjack out of small animals.
That's a fucked up thing, man. You're not wanting to do
I
it.
can't believe you're encouraging this.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do we have him? He's such a fucking enabler.
I mean, he's leading this show, and therefore everything we say he endorses.
I forgot that was part of the contract. I will say I've been caring for these animals for not even a year, but so far what I have done has worked for me. I haven't really ran into many problems, and I will go into a little bit of what I've done, but don't get all of your information from this. Do your research. Do not rely what I say on here. Before I even got my first new pet, which was last year, I had researched for pretty much 6 months, October to March, which was just me constantly looking at care videos, care guides, forums, Google Docs, and so on. And I did this whenever I had like breaks between my college classes. Like, this is what I filled my time with, which was just looking over things. You don't have to do 6 months of research. That's just what I did.
But it definitely helps.
But it definitely helps to do quite a bit, not like 30 minutes. You know, you're going to have to do more than that. So, and even then, I am still learning and researching. I'm still learning stuff. So it is an experience, but you want to know as much as possible. Let's just get into it. Back in March of 2018, that was when I decided I wanted a reptile as a pet. Because for as long as I can remember, I've always just loved reptiles. I don't know what it is. They just look so fucking cool to me. Their physiology, their diversity, they just look awesome. And like, that's why I've always loved Godzilla, Gorosaurus, J-Rex, which is from the 2005 King Kong movie, which was really great. Bossk, the bounty hunter, the lizard, Spider-Man villain, and the basilisk from Harry Potter. Rest in peace, even though he was a bad guy. But that's just to name a few reptilians from pop culture. And also, when we see Godzilla vs. King Kong, I will be screaming my heart out for Godzilla to kick that monkey's ass.
Oh, yeah, I'm there too. Godzilla's badass, dude.
Yeah, man.
I want him to go nuclear on him. Fucking Sharingan.
Fuck. Spoiler.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. But that was a cool scene, though.
It really was.
Also, does anybody know the movie Dragon Wars?
Nope.
Dragon, yes, that was a Korean action movie from like 2008.
Yeah. I know what movie you're talking about.
Well, they should have kept the Korean title D Wars.
That would have been cool. But no, it was. Did anybody have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm just aware of it.
It was badass. I loved it. I watched it like 3 times, like once in theaters, then we got it on DVD and I watched it twice. It was so, I loved it. Probably I need to rewatch it, but probably looking back on it now, it's probably like very cheesy.
But that's Godzilla type movies, baby.
Yeah, it was. If you couldn't tell from the title, it's just a bunch of fucking dragons fighting. Dragon Wars. So it's really cool.
Now I'm not interested.
Consider Dragon Wars part of your homework for Korean cinema. Now that we live in a post-Parasite Best Picture world,
Yeah.
put that on your list, kids.
Yeah, do that.
Old Boy, Parasite, Dragon Wars.
Yeah, in that order. Man, where's my Dragon Wars criterion?
Coming soon, Dragon Wars essential viewing,
Maybe.
or depending on how well it holds up as unessential viewing, we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah.
I won't say no.
Hell yeah. But anyway, so I started looking into pet stores because, pet stores. When I was doing that, something I never knew was how bad it was to purchase pets from a pet store. And that's just a whole nother conversation. To kind of like make some understanding of this is because they are not treated properly, especially like their enclosures. They're not given the right sizing, and some of them they're even put in the wrong substrates, which can lead to impaction, which is a health issue. There's just a whole lot of stuff, and they buy them in bulk, which is not good at all. But again, bulk.
I'm just imagining they have a crate and they crack it open the crowbar and it's just thick with just like swarms of lizards just like skittering around in there.
No, it's just a fuck pit of fucking boa constrictors. It's like
they're trying to pull it out like Christmas lights. Like, God damn it! It's in like an hour trying to untangle these fucking snakes.
Yes, I would like a desk of boas, please.
So that's a good bit.
Oh, or also like it's like the supermarket where you get your bananas. They just put like a balled up portion of snakes into a little scale, and they just charge by weight.
Fuck.
Is there a fucking like Costco of pet stores where they just buy the shit in bulk?
I mean, no, but like Pet Supermarket, Petco, and PetSmart, that's like, when I say they buy in bulk, I literally mean they literally just put a ton of them in a box and they get them. Like, you're pretty spot on, except with the constrictors. That's just bad. So there's that. But what was my next alternative? Buying online. Which, that was something I never realized how big what it was buying animals online, legal animals, not just like black market stuff. I'm not
going to the deep web,
which I have no idea about. I don't know anything about the black market of animals, nothing at all. I do not know.
You mean I can't buy an animal off eBay?
Do not email me at exoticanimalover@yahoo.com because I don't know about exotic animals. I don't.
I guess.
Find Colt on Tor browser.
It's just a bunch of stuffed animals.
I bet.
I know it is. I'm telling the truth.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I've been in his room. He has his stuff in bulk. He also buys animals in bulk, but they're stuffed animals.
Yeah. So they can take it.
But not like, your cute teddy bears, like taxidermied animals.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's all the taxidermy animals they use as like stand-ins for movie scenes.
Yeah. Like, that one animal in Birds of Prey, the gopher or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Like that mountain lion you see at your local pawn shop that has the giant sign that says "Do not touch," but you touch anyway.
Yeah.
Or any architecture firm in the surrounding area.
Or how
God. Yes.
Or how like people get like their dogs after they died or cats have died.
That's so
stuffed.
weird.
But you buy them.
I can't help it. They speak.
Actually, what this podcast is, Colt, we're having an intervention
About your
strange addiction.
This is Wenzel's True Critter Chat, and it's about how Colt buys dead critters.
I don't kill them. I just buy their corpses, and then I taxidermize them, and then I just talk to them.
It's just like a Pinterest board. You sort of like you have your dead cat. I mean, how to turn your dead cat into a thrifty new home item, like a tissue box cover.
Fuck. Okay.
No.
Well, how does that work? Well, what you're supposed to do, and what I did, is that you're supposed to look into reputable breeders who support or practice captive breeding, and they ship them, and that's one-day shipping, and that can be anywhere from $40 to $50, which makes sense. Yeah,
it does make sense. It's just that's a hunk of money.
Oh yeah, no, like especially if you're buying like a $50 gecko, which was spoiler, that was my first animal, and that's how much it was. It ended up being like $100, but again, completely fair. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that, and and then they put them in a box Well, they put them in, like, if it's a gecko, they usually put them in a deli cup and a box full of padding. They put either a heat pack or some kind of, like, chill pack to help with temperature regulation. And I'm saying that because people are like, oh, you're buying them online? They must be so uncomfortable. That doesn't, like, they're going in a box. It's like, bitch, how do you think these pet stores buy them? What do you think happens when you go out and buy them from a fucking pet store or from a convention?
They're just not in like a little cardboard box. You just
Like,
rattle it around.
they're literally like, you can't just have them out and about. You literally have to put them in a little cup, deli cup, little plastic container, and you drive with them. It's literally the same thing, you know? So
Little cricket sandwich.
what?
Little cricket sandwiches. It's a deli cup. You got to have a little deli thing.
I wonder if the mailman we know has any animal deliveries in his past.
I don't know.
He probably has something he doesn't want to talk
Tell us
about.
about your animal deliveries, fucker. You can't hide it from us.
Actually, we hold them up and just ask them to give them all the animals they have.
Please, God, do not attack your
Not attack your mailman.
your male persons, okay?
Or person.
God.
Weighted gender.
Oh my god.
Fucking asshole.
Okay. So what I did is I looked into this one breeder, Josh's Frogs, and for the longest time they've been a frog breeder, but they have expanded beyond that and have only captive breed a diverse selection of plants and animals. So let's fast forward to the summer, and at that time I was almost done with Shelton State. I was still at a summer. I was still working through my summer semester there, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. My birthday's coming up. I want to buy a reptile. I've wanted one forever, so that's what I did. I just straight up bought it. And that was my first mistake because I knew this, but not buying it wasn't my first mistake. My first mistake was what kind I bought, because I bought a baby crested gecko. It was 2 months old, and the problem with that is that for beginners, it's not usually recommended to buy baby versions of the reptiles because they are timid, they are skittish, they're scared, and they're more prone to you're more prone to failure in raising them because there's a chance they could die because they're very young. Their immune system is still developing. But yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna buy it because I wanted to. I don't know. I just wanted to really take part in that care and that process of building up a very young gecko into a mature one. That's why I did that. And also, when it comes to captive bred animals, please support captive breeding. Do not purchase wild caught or field collected if you can, because captive breeding just helps with, it keeps from not affecting local populations of animals, and also helps with conservation. And typically field collected or wild collected animals are more aggressive, usually injured, or have diseases, and it's just a lot more time, care, and money that goes into that. So if you can, definitely, if you think about purchasing a reptile, amphibian, or any sort of animal in the future, support or try very hard to look into captive bred animals. But you guys ready for a history lesson about crested geckos?
Yes.
George Washington.
Bring it
had
on.
one.
All right. So what is a crested gecko? Let's go into its Latin name, which is Corlophus ciliatus, formerly Rhacodactylus ciliatus. The reason being for this change is because that it actually isn't that closely related to the genus Rhacodactylus, which is the other geckos on the islands that it's from. So it was moved to Corlophus. The specific name, ciliatus, is Latin, with its root word being cilia, meaning fringe or eyelashes, which refers to the crest of skin over the animal's eyes that looks like eyelashes.
I'm going to throw up.
Sorry, I'm getting... I really wanted to do a very nice breakdown of this, so...
Fucking nerd.
Well, no, we're really glad you're giving us all this information.
Yeah.
But like, it's
In
also
one ear and out the other.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If you're
It was like that fucking meme with all the math equations where I'm like, okay, my eyes are just glazing over.
no,
But I support you and your reptiles.
no, that's fine. If you're still hanging on, thank you. If you're listening, I don't blame you. I know it's a lot of, for me, I love it. I really enjoy it. So I'm very passionate about it. But
And he was just so rapid fire with it. Just bam, 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 bam.
so
What?
Well, I have a question, Blaze. Since we're starting with your gecko first, when did you first get your gecko? What do you call your gecko now?
I first got it back. I ordered it around the week of my birthday, but I got it on July 12th, which was that Friday. And his name, and we'll get to why I know he's male. His name is Bossk, after my favorite bounty hunter.
2018.
This is your birthday last year?
Okay.
Yeah, 2019. He was 2 months old at the time I got him, so he would have to have been born he was born in May. Again, going into history, but crested geckos come from the island of New Caledonia and were originally thought to have been extinct until 1994 when they were rediscovered. Since then, they have been popular in the pet trade because of the ease of care. All crested geckos that are available to purchase here in the U.S. are captive bred, so no imports, which is good because, again, it does not affect local population and promotes conservation, but they are registered as vulnerable now, I think. They do not have eyelids. They have a transparent scale known as a spectacle over their eyes that keeps it moist, and they can use their tongue to remove debris. They have webbed legs and feet, and the reason for the legs to be that way is because they jump, and it helps them glide. So it's really fun when you watch them, like, jump, and, like, their legs have, like, this... Their back legs, their hind legs have this, like, skin that kind of makes it look like their back legs are kind of like wings. It's really
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Yo, that's lit.
So their back legs have this sort of just webbing between their body and the legs that kind of aids them in sort of like slowing descent as they jump from branch to branch.
Exactly. That's exactly what it does. Yeah, because they are arboreal, which means they love to climb and spend most of their time in vertical spaces.
Evolution.
Yeah,
Really cool.
yeah, it is. And they have toe pads, which it's so freaking cool. They act as they have these little hairs that like act as suction cups, and there's even one at the end of their semi-prehensile tail. So like there's like a little tiny pad at the end which helps them with balance. But unlike other geckos, when they lose their tail, it does not grow back. It doesn't hurt them though if they do lose it. It's just a bit for them to adjust for balance. And usually when they do, people nickname them frog butts because they
do look like frog butts.
They do look like frog butts. Babies and juveniles, they shed once a week. And when they become adults, they shed every 1 to 2 months. Their average lifespan is anywhere between 15 to 20 years, which I am completely fine with because I've taken care of 2 dogs, with one of them being Daisy. She died in 2017, and she was 10. Thank you, Pat. Rest in peace. She was a great dog. She was 10, and we had her for 9 years. And Gabby currently is 12, turning 13 this December, and we've had her for 11.
The best question is, how does Gabby feel about all these extra animals? You're diverting your attention away from her.
She wants to eat them.
Yeah.
That is her only thought. Anything she sees, she just wants to eat it.
Okay, I was like, okay, let me taste them. I'll give them right back.
You know, I wish that's how it worked, but no. She's like, let me taste them, and then she's like, it tastes bad, but I'll eat it.
Yeah, she's a little demon from hell, also in the mafia.
Yeah, no, she's a little fucking monster.
But she's nice, the nicest dog you could ever meet, and she's very soft and very pretty.
Yeah, she's very. I guess I love her.
Yeah, sure.
You guess.
But yeah.
Spoken like a true parent.
Yeah, man. Don't you hate your kids?
It's like, I love you sometimes.
Sometimes. No, I love Gabby to death, and I've put a lot of work into caring for her.
Now, for the listeners, how would you describe the appearance of the crested gecko, like you said?
The one I have, wow, Pat, you're really throwing me. I had this laid out. We were gonna get to that, but now you're throwing me on the spot. They do this thing called firing up, and when they fire up, that's where they show their true colors. They're much more brighter, and they fire up when they're angry, they're curious, they're excited. It reflects how they're feeling emotionally.
Mood ring gecko.
Pretty much. The one I have, he is a Harlequin morph, which morphs are just the different kinds of patterns. Harlequin is kind of similar to tiger stripes, and he is a very dark brown with his stripes being a bright orange. And his head is like a caramel. It's very pretty when he fires up. He'll fire up, of course, when I'm about to feed him, because he'll do this bit where I'm about to feed him crickets, and he knows because I whip out the bag that I used to dust them with, and he looks at me with like these big puppy dog eyes, and that's when he fires up because he's like, oh fuck, I'm about to get fed. And yeah, and then also when I turn off the lights, because they're nocturnal, they do a little fire up at night because that's when they're active. So yeah, it's really, really beautiful. when I saw him, I was like, I have to have him. He's just too goddamn pretty, which they all are. They're all very pretty.
Also, I will say we will have pictures of all Wenzel's discussed animals on our Instagram this week.
Yeah, for sure. I will definitely do that. I will definitely put pictures of them because I know my descriptions don't do them justice. But anyway, they are omnivores. I did mention they eat insects. That's part of it, but they're mostly part of their diet is fruit based. And which was a big factor in me getting them because I originally didn't want to get insects, but I ended up getting them anyway. For their food, I feed them a powder-based fruit diet, which is literally 2 parts water and 1 part the diet. And the brand I use is Pangea, which is very popular. And my son, Bossk, likes mango, papaya, insect mix, and fig insect mix. The insect mix is just random. It doesn't really specify, I think, or it does, but I haven't looked at it. Just random fruits, and it has mostly insects in it. And yeah, they have different tastes, and it's really annoying because I try to feed them the watermelon mix, and it smells so fucking good, but he hates it. He does not like it. And but they all don't smell bad, and they're all different. They all have different taste. It's really weird. And for the crickets, like I was mentioning, I have a bag. That baggie, what I do is when I'm about to feed them crickets, I have to put them in a bag of calcium with vitamin D3, and I have to dust them, which is me just putting them in the bag and shaking up the bag.
Yeah. so basically this dust is sort of in part like extra nutrients to the crickets.
Yeah, because now the diet, I should say the diet is a complete diet, so you don't have to do this, but just to help with getting, more calcium so they don't get metabolic bone disease, because I don't provide them UVB, I dust them with calcium. But that's pretty much it. But what you have to do, though, before you feed them is you have to gut load them for 72 hours beforehand. Gut loading just means you feed them a nutritious food and, to get even more nutrients. But, again, the fruit diet is complete, so you don't have to do that. And also the legitimacy of its powder-based diet. The diet has been tested for more than a decade. It works. So, yeah. But when I got him, he was only 3.5 grams. And I say only, and I don't mean that because for a 2-month-old crested gecko, that's really fucking big. They're usually 2 grams or even less, but he was 3.5 grams, which is fucking crazy. He was a big boy.
Look at this fucking nerd using the metric system.
Yeah.
We're in America.
We use the imperial system that makes everything much more difficult.
Well, it's not difficult for us because we're amazing, badass, big American Speedo people. Isn't that right, bud? We're Americans, right?
We're Americans, yeah.
Wipe those tears, son.
I wish the Statue of Liberty would just whip out those big, fat books.
Oh, I love to read.
Of laws. I'm sorry. I read The Mask recently, and there's a bit in the Mask's speech where he says something along the lines of, "Now let the Statue of Liberty whip out those big old titties and say none for you," and I liked it.
Not to be confused with the 1994 movie starring Jim Carrey.
Yeah, which was also great. But this also Mask comic, it's only 4 issues. I recommend reading it. It's very good. It's very fun. It's pretty much a big fuck you to America. But anyway, when I first got him, I just had him in a small critter keeper, and that was also another part of my mistake was that before you get a pet, make sure you buy all the supplies that you need. I did that, but I bought a way bigger enclosure than he needed because he was a baby, and I ended up buying a 12-inch by 12-inch by 18-inch terrarium, which is not good because babies aren't supposed to live in that size enclosure because when you feed them, they have the tendency not to ever find their food and starve to death. So that was a huge mistake, and now I just have an empty Exoterra terrarium.
Babies are dumb. Adults win every time. I don't know what's going on with babies.
When the age wars break out, the babies are going down.
Oh,
for sure, man. We're just
gonna put them all in socks and just sling them around.
Wait a minute. Wait. No, that is not the direction.
I said not to do
it. It's true, Wenzel. We talked about putting baby things into socks, making blackjack. That means you endorse it as the host.
That is no, I do not endorse
Wenzel
it.
endorses baby blackjack making.
Oh
you heard it here, folks.
Oh
Hashtag baby blackjack.
I don't support that, but I do support babies gambling. Blackjack.
Oh my god.
Hashtag baby gambling.
Wait a minute.
I support baby smoking.
Oh,
Okay, now, Jonathan, what the fuck?
What the fuck? You can't. Okay, I do not support.
Okay, fine. I support them vaping.
It's better, but it's not.
Wait, what? Wait. Do we support baby lotteries?
Oh, for sure. It's the
Well, I
biggest
mean, we're in
lottery.
Alabama. We don't. What the fuck's a lottery?
Yeah, we have to travel out of state to play the slots. That's why our schools don't have any money.
Oh, look. Okay, I support baby gambling and I support baby lotteries. I do not support baby smoking
Yes.
or vaping. Jonathan.
What about baby juuling?
No!
That's worse.
God. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
fine. Baby meth use.
You know what?
Look, if you don't smoke during pregnancy, how else will your kid be the swim team captain?
My critter chat is being derailed.
I don't understand that, Pat, but okay.
Smoking during pregnancy gives babies like web fingers and toes.
I mean, yes.
What?
Anyway, Bossk currently lives in a plastic sterilite tub that I've given ventilation holes, of course, and he is now 10.1 fucking grams. He got bigger than I expected, and that's scary.
He's only
Where
getting
on the
bigger.
range of I guess of weight does he fall? Is he like normal, higher than average, above average?
He is above average, but I would just go ahead and say he's not fat because, like, if you saw him, because there are fat crested geckos, and it's kind of sad, but also they look funny because they just have all these skin rolls.
I want to see a picture of a fat gecko.
Okay, now we got to look this up. All right. Hold on, everybody. We're going to look up a picture of a fat crested gecko, and everybody's going to love it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Crested gecko. Somebody say something.
I support baby... football, baby football, where they're playing the football. We're not using the baby as a football.
But they're not. They don't have pads. They don't have
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's an obese crested gecko.
That is a big boy right there.
pads. He's a chonker.
Pat tried to talk to the mic and talk to the corner of my mic arm. What are you going to say, Pat?
Oh, he's fat.
Yeah, he's a fat boy. Big boy. Big chunky boy.
Is there a way that you can have a healthy lizard but it still be fat?
No.
Yes. Because well, not fat, but like there's a certain because usually when they get older, they have this certain look that makes it look like they're fat, but they're not really. They're just kind of big. There's even a type of gecko. They're called lychees, Lychianus. They're also New Caledonian. They're really fucking big. They're actually called the giant New Caledonian giant gecko. They're the largest gecko in the world, and they look like their skin is like so. What's the word?
Is it loose?
It's so loose. They look fat, but they're not. It's really funny. They look really awesome. But anyway, yeah. So Bossk is not fat, which, you know, nothing against.
Not to fat shame crescent geckos.
Yeah,
but
not to fat shame crested geckos. They're all beautiful. Let me think. Oh yeah, Bossk is male. I know this because the fucker has a huge bulge already.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this bulge is not testes. It is what known as a hemipenal bulge, and that just means that's their penis.
Yeah.
It's just this, like, it looks like, you know what? You guys want to see that too?
I don't. I've seen it already. It's so
I want to
gross.
see it. Fuck off, Cole.
He showed me a video of a crested gecko coming on someone's hand and eating it, and I didn't like it.
The FBI he's going to be flagged by the FBI with like looking at pictures of lizard penises.
He was becoming a man.
The crested gecko ate the cum. The person didn't. Just clarifying that.
Okay, that's good.
That's what it.
That's just like big balls.
Yeah, they look like balls, but they're not.
Yo.
That's their penis.
Yo,
Oh,
And
wow.
that little line right there, that's what's called a vent.
Oh, that's what opens up?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
and then it, like,
Yep. Pops out and then they come.
Yeah, look these pictures up. We're not putting these on...
No. I'm not taking the time to take a picture of my little boy. Wait.
You can stop there.
but he is going to take the time to do a very detailed drawing of it.
I'm not going to take the time to take a picture of Bossk's genitalia.
Oh, you'll draw penises every day, but you won't draw a lizard penis?
Lizard penises are weird.
That's his line. No lizard penises.
That is my line. Thank you, Jonathan. But yeah, and also just another fun fact, after all the facts I've been piling on you fuckers, if they're not developing a bulge, another surefire way to tell if they're male or female is that you take like a jeweler's like looking glass, and you hold them, and you look at the area where their genitalia would be, or their vents, and if they have pores on their scales, that means they're male, or they look like dimples. If they don't, that means they're female. But here's the thing: is they can actually develop pores later. So it's not surefire way, but it's pretty damn close.
I'm just imagining Adam Sandler from Uncut Jim just like taking a lizard to his magnifying glass and just like,
oh no,
don't say it, don't say it.
Oh no,
fuck, I'm gonna
say
come.
it, Wenzel, say it. Oh fuck, I'm gonna come. Okay.
Y'all, I had an excellent bit prepared for when he took a break, and then y'all just derailed it, but I'm happy. And just in case you were wondering, what are those jewels? 24 karat?
All right.
Because you're using a jeweler.
Jonathan,
I thought that was fucking hilarious, y'all.
Whatever, Jonathan. I don't get it. But yeah, he's a little idiot, and I love him. He has mistaken my finger for a cricket sometimes, and he's bitten me twice. Doesn't hurt, just really funny.
but Wenzel's fingers are becoming pad-like and they get stuck to walls.
Yeah.
What you don't know is Wenzel's a superhero called Lizard Man.
Oh fuck, Jonathan.
Couldn't have gotten creative with the name, but okay.
Fuck. Okay.
Fine, Gecko Man.
No. Do you guys know about what is it? My legend, I'm a cryptid, the Louisiana Lizard Man or whatever. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
Well, okay.
He's a bit of an indie cryptid.
No, there's like
listen to his Bandcamp. He has like a super lit play.
Yeah, you can find his theme song on there.
Okay, now we got to look it up. Louisiana Lizard Man. Let's see. Is this a real thing? I know there's a Frog Man.
Not to be confused with Snake Jazz.
Let me see.
Although I will say the Frogman story is pretty interesting. How there was this guy in like the 60s or 70s, and he was driving his car. He saw these three frog-like humanoid creatures walking along the guardrail of a road next to the forest, and he said they had like a wand.
That's just them Wesker boys down by the river.
The Wesker boys?
Them Wesker boys.
They all look like fucking Albert Wesker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they backflip all the time.
It's just nothing but fucking backflips. It's so annoying.
Hey guys, have you seen the Frogman?
And the only way to stop him is to throw him into a volcano.
Yep.
And not just throw them into a volcano, shoot a fucking 2 rocket launchers at their ass.
Also, and punch a rock.
Yeah, fuck that rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Frogman story. Anyway, there is a Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp, which is in South Carolina. That's me. So people in South Carolina, if you see a Lizard Man walking around, what's up? It's your boy, Wenzel.
Don't approach him. He will attack.
I will try to eat your skin.
He has to replace the skin he just shed.
Exactly. I wear skin. Oh, God. I sound like a murderer. Please. I do not endorse this.
Yeah, he only takes your skin if you're bad.
Oh, thank you, Pat. Anyway.
He's part of the lizard men who control the government.
Oh, my God. Okay.
No,
okay.
those are the bad lizards.
Oh, fuck, there's a lizard war? You didn't tell me about the lizard war?
Oh, my God. I am not talking about a fucking lizard war.
That's what D-Wars is about. Dragon Wars is about this. If we just put this crazy movie out, it'll help people understand what's really going on, but then they got, defamed and, disinformation. And the Koreans letting us know.
I'm not talking about the lizard wars, okay? It's over. The lizard wars are over. I'm not talking about that.
It's like
what about the lizard rebellion?
He can't talk about this. It's like the Germans and Nazis. They can't talk about it.
Thank you, Cole. Anyway,
we'll talk about it after the podcast.
Yeah, join us on our Patreon stream.
Patreon of me.
AYCH After Dark.
Of me fighting in the lizard wars and the lizard rebellion to fight against lizard Nazis.
God, he just has a fucking mental breakdown.
Ooh, I actually really like this. Anyway,
TM.
Back in August, I also bought 500 crickets from Pangea, and I realized I bought probably too many, and I needed someone else to help eating them. So I hired somebody. No.
Oh god damn it! Too many lizards just like shoveling him in.
Fuck. My dad. It was funny too. 'Cause my dad was like, "Just feed him to Gabby." Like, I was like, "No!" Like he was being serious too.
I feel like she
I
would
was
eat
liking
them.
the idea that your parents didn't know you had any of these animals, so you're just like bringing in these like noisy boxes.
No, when it got delivered too, I was like, I told my mom like, tell me when it gets here, and just bring it inside, because the crickets come in like a small box, and there's like a vent. They can't escape, but it helps them. And an hour later, I just see my mom like come into my room like, Wenzel, there's something at the door. There's sounds. I'm like, it's probably the crickets. Why didn't you bring it in? I didn't. The crickets. So I got them, and that was just a whole fiasco. But in August, me, my dad, and Colt went to Repticon down in Montgomery. And Repticon is, as it sounds, a convention where breeders and sellers sell reptiles, amphibians, invertebrates, whatever.
I gotta say, pet trade is stupid. Animals are really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Like just for like have as a pet.
I mean, how much do dogs and cats cost? Like not like $50 or something.
No, dogs can be really expensive.
Yeah.
So what would make a lizard any different?
Yeah, Colt.
I've never paid money for a pet. All of my pets have been lovingly brought into my home.
It's like Mom, it followed me home.
Yeah, I didn't steal it. You stole Luke. I know you did.
He broke in.
I demand the truth. What really happened to Bip and Bop?
Oh fuck.
I don't know. It may, like, I get it. And also something too with wild caught and field collected. They're typically going to be a lot cheaper. So don't let that fool you. If it's really cheap, then it's probably that. Don't buy it. Unless you want to have a huge vet bill.
The damn thing only came with 3 legs.
Well, that shouldn't happen. That'd be terrible.
3-legged animals need love too.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, so I bought a Pac-Man frog.
Yeah, that little angry little fucker.
Yep, and guess what we're about to get into? Another history lesson.
Yeah!
I don't know if you call these history or science.
There'd be scientific lessons.
Scientific history.
Pac-Man frogs were invented in 1968.
Fuck, Pat, you got it.
They were born inside of a Pac-Man machine.
Yeah, they were born
And
inside.
they were brought home from the moon.
No, okay, John's just making stuff up. What
Yeah.
happened was when the Pac-Man
You can't
game,
lie to me.
When the Pac-Man game came
I know
out,
the truth.
Isn't it the baby of Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man is the frog?
when he okay, hold on, I'm trying to think how to say this. He gets stressed out, so he has to masturbate. When Pac-Man does that, splooge gets everywhere. And
I
from
thought you were like your frog.
no,
That's what I thought at first. I'm like, how the fuck does a frog masturbate? I want deets on
no,
that.
I'm talking about Pac-Man. Pac-Man, that little yellow.
He's going on this long bit, and we're just like, I thought we were the frog. science lesson.
He's buried the lead so many times, I don't know where the fuck
Yeah, am
we
I
are.
fucking with you guys?
How does Pac-Man masturbate, Wenzel? Tell us. Continue.
He gets tweezers because he has a micro penis.
Oh,
Exactly.
Pac-Man.
But he has a lot of splooge.
It's just never
and
ending.
it piles up in the arcade cabinet.
Oh.
And from that liquid, Pac-Man frogs are born.
Oh no.
And that's how they
Oh god. All right.
But anyway, its Latin name is Ceratophorus cranwelli. Cranwelli is the name of the man, Cranwell, who led the expedition. They come from a very broad region in South America. They can be found in many countries. They are easy to care for, just as crested geckos. Crested geckos are very easy to care for. They're a beginner pet. That's why I bought Bossk. And captive bred individuals are readily available for Pac-Man frogs. They are round, fat little fucks, and I love them so much.
It says that on the Wikipedia page.
Nope, that is what it says on my notes.
Jabba was tiny when you first got him.
Jabba was tiny.
Was he a baby?
Yeah, he was a baby. Typically, because Pac-Man frogs, they skip the tadpole stage. They don't become.
They just come out golf ball size.
They come out the size of a quarter.
Oh.
And but he wasn't the size of a quarter. He was a little bit bigger. He was probably about the size of a silver dollar.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he was pretty big. I never weighed him, just because I'm kind of scared to weigh him. Not like I'm afraid of him hurting me. I'm afraid of like the gram weight thing I use. I don't remember what it's called now. Weigher. I'm just afraid like he might absorb something through his skin, or like he might piss on me.
Grody.
No, that is an actual worry for me because one time when I was holding him because I was at the clean, he just shot piss out, and I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" It's what they do. I don't blame him.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's what
the only defense they have.
Yeah. Well, no, Pac-Man frogs have teeth. They have teeth.
Oh, they have.
Oh,
teeth.
fuck.
Yeah, they are very voracious eaters. They love to eat. Hence the name. And they have teeth. They have like I don't want to look that up, but I will. You guys want to see Pac-Man frog teeth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I
actually.
do.
I picture them like shark teeth.
Man frog.
Also, I'm suggesting if you have frog with teeth, get the Wolverine frogs next.
Fuck. Let me see.
For folks that don't know, the Wolverine frogs are a type of like tropical frog that they break the bones in their feet. They kind of have these little bone spurs that pop out as a way to defend themselves.
Yeah, yeah, they're really
Yo.
cool. This isn't a. No, this is good. Okay. See those little pointy parts
Okay.
coming?
Oh, so they are similar to shark teeth in a way.
Those are its teeth. Those little pointy parts. Yeah, they have a very strong jaws. So I do not recommend getting bit by them.
Has he bitten you yet?
Nah, he's very nice.
Yay!
Yeah, no, he'll. I'm always afraid though that he will because I'll put my finger near his mouth to help move dirt out, and but no, he doesn't. He doesn't bite me. He'll only eat his food. He'll only bite his food. He is an apricot morph, which means he's yellow with some splotches of orange. Very pretty. He has also red eyes, which when I first got him, I thought he was albino, which made me really worried because that requires a lot more work. But he's not. He just has red eyes. It's really cool. And yeah, amphibians are a different animal kingdom. So like, I didn't get him thinking that I would be able to handle him because amphibians, they absorb stuff through their skin. So like, handling amphibians is not recommended. If you do, it's only for short periods. But I have nitrile gloves, which is what nurses use, and those are completely amphibian safe. So that's what I'll use if I do have to handle him. And I feed him with tongs, and they're sit and wait predators. I have to I just pretty much open up his enclosure and I just have a cricket, hold it with tongs, and I just rub it against his mouth, and he bites it. Sometimes he'll bite the tongs. Sometimes he'll do that. I don't want to say he's an idiot. It's more my fault. For feeding him too, I will say I do need, because I only feed him crickets, but I need to work on getting some more in there for him because he does need to eat more diverse. Because sometimes they'll refuse food. They just don't want it. They don't like it anymore, and they'll just be like, I want something else. So that is a worry. He hasn't done that yet. He is kind of getting finicky though. But
let him take a bite of you, because once he bites you, he's going to want one thing and one thing only, and that's human flesh.
Yeah, that is a worry for me.
Wenzel flesh.
Or you. They'll only want your flesh.
Yeah. Now, for nutritional needs, I have to dust. I feed him 3 times a week, and 2 of those times, now, I take that back. Now, I feed him 3 times a week and once a month, and for that, the reason being is that for twice a week, I feed him crickets that are dusted with vitamin D3, because he needs the calcium, vitamin D3, so he doesn't get metabolic bone disease. And if nobody knows what metabolic bone disease, that just means there's a calcium deficiency, and because there's a calcium deficiency, their bones will start to deform and essentially fuck up, and that it usually
the metabolism breaks down their bones.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and like it really fucks up mostly with their spines and their legs and their limbs.
That sounds like an existential nightmare.
Yeah, it's really bad, and it's really sad too when it does happen. But he hasn't had that, so because I've been good with feeding him. And then I feed him once a week multivitamin without phosphorus, because crickets are high in phosphorus, so he needs vitamins as well. And what I do, I feed him 1 batch of crickets a month, which is they're dusted with Repashy's Super Pig, which is a carotenoid supplement to help boost the color of his pigment, because males typically, when they get more mature, they lose the vibrancy of their colors, unlike females. Now, his name is Jabba, by the way. I love him.
Can you guess why his name's Jabba?
Can you guess why?
Is he a big stationary blob-like creature that eats a lot?
That's exactly what it is. I'm
Yeah.
glad you got that, Pat.
It looks like Baby Jabba, basically, from the Clone Wars.
Yeah. I don't know if he's male, because with males, the way you tell them apart is usually from their size and sound. With size, Females are always going to be bigger than males. That's from this thing known as sexual dimorphism. And sound is that males will croak to look for a female, and females will chirp. He hasn't done either of those. So
Jabba has never made any noise, really, since you had him?
No, the only noise he's made is when I spray him with water, he'll be like a little.
Is that I wonder if that's a good squeak or a bad squeak?
It's probably bad. He doesn't like it, but yeah, I have to spray him with water because he gets so fucking dirty. They like to burrow, so they get all kinds of dirt on them. Which it isn't dirt; it's cocoa fiber. Dirty little boy. But yeah, and even if he is female, it doesn't matter to me. I love him anyway.
Asexual Jabba.
Well, and the thing is too is that before the old Star Wars canon was made non-canon, all Hutts were hermaphrodites. So, like, it kind of fits. He currently sits in an 18-inch by 18-inch by 12-inch exoterra terrarium, and that's where he will be for the rest of his life. Unless he turns out to be female, then I'll probably have to upgrade him. They also like it very hot. I have to have I have an Arcadia bulb that helps with heating, and to monitor that, I have a plant thermometer that helps with, like, turning it on, turning it off, and help regulating the heat. Because I try to keep it up to 80, 81 degrees during the day, and at night I get it down to 75 or 77. Anything lower is dangerous. And yeah, and Bossk heat needs are vastly different. Crested geckos are more, they can handle cooler stuff, but...
Because, like, frogs and toads, they can't self-regulate their temperature.
I mean, reptiles can't either, but the thing is with Pac-Man frogs, they live in specifically a hotter environment. So, like, with Bossk, he's a crested gecko. He can handle temperatures up to 80, but anything past that, you're getting into injury. And then anything below 60, you're getting also into injury. His range, I keep him, because I have a room heater, I make sure to keep his and my other gecko, which we're about to get into, I keep their enclosures at 75 to 77 during the day, and then I just let it get down to 73 at night. And I checked that also with the temperature gun, which is really neat. But another gecko? But Wenzel, you have a gecko and a frog. Why did you get another gecko?
Did you have
Why not?
Buy one, get one free coupon?
No, because for some reason I was like, I want another gecko because I still have an overabundance of crickets, which was dumb, but yeah. It was just a good excuse to do that. And I love taking road trips by myself. For some reason, it's fun. So in September, I decided to go all the way to Chattanooga by myself to go to a Repticon, not telling anybody or anything. And
his parents were worried. They didn't know where he went to.
They didn't know. I literally just left that morning. And I ended up coming back with a 6-gram tailless frog butt red Dalmation crested gecko. Now, Dalmatian means they have black spots, and she is a very, 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 very pretty red when she fires up. It's reddish orange, and when she fires down, she's like a vanilla white. She looks gorgeous. I freaking love her. I love all of them. But I saw her and I was like, yeah, I have to have her. I have to take her home right now. And I bought her from this guy, the Phantom Gecko. That's the name of his store business. And he was really neat. He even showed me. He even took a jeweler's looking glass and actually showed me whether or not she was male or female. And she's female, as far as I know. And she's older than Bossk, but not by much. And I named her Sleater, after the girl indie rock band Sleater Kinney. So that was my process for that. I have had run into problems with her shedding, but I moved her into the same kind of tub that Bossk is in. Have had no problems whatsoever. I don't know what happened. She was in a different type of Sterilite tub, but they're both the same height, and it had even more ventilation holes. But she kept getting stuck shed, which means that the shedding gets stuck on her skin, and that's a problem because eventually it builds up, and it can like cause specifically her toes or her limbs to lose blood circulation, and they'll just pop off.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's not good. That was a very big worry for me. But I moved her into a new enclosure, and she's doing fine. Same thing with Bossk too. Had no problems shedding whatsoever.
Well, what would the caregiver do in the event that they do get their old skin still stuck to their bodies? How do you remedy that?
What I did one time was you take them and you essentially put them in like a mini sauna. You have a paper towel and you put like warm water in it, and you kind of let her like walk around in it and get her skin really wet, and then you take like a Q-tip and kind of like lightly like rub it on the skin to kind of like help get it off. If you can't get it off, then that's fine, as long as like it's just wet or moist. Then like put her back into her enclosure and she'll tear it off eventually. Also, you put in like cork bark or like some kind of tough rough surface so that it can help them. And some people no, I won't say this because some people do it and it's really dangerous, and I will never do it. But yeah, that's pretty much what you do. You kind of do a little sauna bit, and that typically helps. If not, if they do end up losing circulation, you can do you can amputate, which is what some people do. They'll amputate like toes or legs, but I haven't had to do that, and I hope I never will. But yeah, but she's fine now. She is also a little bigger than Bossk, and she is also much more friendly. She is more used to handling, because every time like I handle Bossk, he runs away or like he gets mad and bites me. Yeah. But with her, I'll literally reach in to pick her up, and she's like, oh, here we go. Yeah. And she'll just walk around. She's very curious, very fun. She likes to take leaps of faith. And funny story is, I had to take her into the bathroom because she had poop on her, and I wanted to get it off, so I was gonna get a Q-tip and like lightly rub it off. And like I loosened my grip for like a second, and she takes this long ass leap of faith from the doorway of my bathroom to our fucking toilet, and she ends up hitting it and slapping onto the floor. And I was like, oh my fucking god, she's dead. No, she was completely fine. It was just I was so scared, because I was like, she has brain damage, she's fucking dead, something. Like, I was so worried, because then after that she just started hopping around. I was like, oh my god, she's fucking broken.
I think I know what she was doing. She's trying to get to the Katy Perry movie Flushed Away.
Ah, fuck. She was trying to flush herself down the toilet. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go to the
I'd be afraid if you had your commode open that you would just jump in the water.
No, it was closed.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that really scared me. But no, she was fine. Geckos are used to jumping their bodies are made for very high altitudes, so
their bodies are made for wilding out.
Yeah, wilding out. That was pretty much what she did. She was wilding out. But yeah, that's she also has different tastes as well when it comes to her food. She likes mango, the fig mix, papaya, and I also have a new dessert type called banana cream pie. Really likes those.
Dessert type.
Yeah, it's literally called a dessert alternative or something. It's really fun.
These lizards are eating better than we are.
Maybe. But yeah, she's really fun. And then finally, we get to my last animal, and okay, we're getting to my last animal, and I just want to say as a warning, if you have an aversion to insects, spiders, or all that, like that little kingdom, skip this part, because what I'm about to get into has a lot of legs.
It's a demon from hell.
It is a demon from hell.
Because Wenzel talked about this animal earlier, and even he was afraid of it.
I am very afraid. I'm not afraid of it as much anymore, but yeah,
you still are though, right?
Yeah, I am. Okay. I piss myself at night, knowing that it watches me while I sleep. No, I'm not that afraid of it anymore. But in October, I just went to another Repticon in Bessemer. I was just getting crickets and supplies. I literally was not thinking about getting another animal, but I've been researching about tarantulas, centipedes, and invertebrates of the sort, and I was like, man, I really for some reason I really want to take care of one. But I was like, I don't know if I'm ready though, and then I just ended up buying it because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do it, and I bought a tiger centipede.
You see, when most folks have an impulse buy, it's like a candy bar or like a magazine. He buys a whole ass centipede.
A whole ass centipede.
And these aren't like the little centipedes you might see like crawling on your sidewalk underneath a brick somewhere. This is a very big centipede.
Yeah, it's like 6 inches long, and yeah, It was an impulse buy, and I kind of regret it, but also, you know what? I'm fine with it. I have to take care of it.
How long do they live?
They live 6 to 10 years.
Whoa.
6 to 10 years?
6 to 10 years. The reason why for that number is because females will usually live longer than males. Males have shorter lifespans. And he's not a baby. He is a mature male because he hasn't molted at all since I've had him. And usually what that means is like they're an adult, they're mature. They molt less when they get older. And I know he's male because females are bigger as well. Sexual dimorphism again. He is smaller. He's 6 inches, like I said, 6 inches, and that's average size for males. So, and I know he's 6 inches because I took a ruler and I put it next to him, and I was able to measure him. He was stretched out. Yeah, that was really scary.
You shaking like a leaf the whole time?
Yeah, no. Every time I open up his thing, I do shake a little. But you know what we're getting into? Another science lesson.
Hit us with those leg facts.
Yeah, the last one.
And on that day, my brain grew 3 times bigger.
Yeah,
I'm hurting.
I hope you're learning something. I hope I'm not. I mean, if I'm boring you, that's fine.
The thing is, a lot of it's coming in. It's the very technical names.
Yeah,
none of that's registered.
No, that's fine. So the Latin name is Scolopendra polymorpha.
Yeah, like that. No,
and they I've memorized these names too. I love it.
Scolopendra is just an awesome word.
Oh yeah, sick word. And they come from the arid regions of Texas and southwestern United States. They mostly live in a desert type environment, but they can kind of go into more like soil and with trees and stuff like that. But
cowboy centipede.
Yeah, cowboy. Now, in the invert hobby, when usually referring to invertebrates, they usually use their scientific names because common names can refer to a whole list of different...
They're very imprecise.
Yeah, they're very imprecise, especially like, if you're living in Alabama, there's so many different names for snakes. But yeah, so they...
Like snake.
What?
Snack.
Snack.
Snacks.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Snick.
But yeah, so...
Sunk.
You're just making up stuff.
You're making stuff up. You done?
Stoke.
Okay, now we're just saying other words.
Okay.
Skink.
That's a...
Skank.
Closer.
Oh, those are both reptiles. No, skank is not a reptile. Yeah, so, and if you can guess why it gets the name Tiger Centipede, it's because it has black stripes. And its color is kind of orange with its head being red.
And he's a ferocious motherfucker.
Yeah, he is. Now, when I got this, I knew for a fact that it was very easy to care for. I even talked to the guy who is selling it to me. His business is called Justin's Critters. I talked to him, and just like as I have looked into care guides and forums, the care was pretty much what I've been looking up. Very easy, not much into it. It's just that it is venomous. It is a centipede. All centipedes have venom, as far as I know, but their venom is pretty, in terms of like lethality, it's all pretty much the same in that it's not lethal. Like, it does hurt, and if you're allergic to it, that is a problem, but there haven't really been any cases of people dying from centipede bites. I think there was one of a very young girl who got bit in the face by a centipede, and she died. But again, she was a very young girl, might have been a baby. So yeah, the only people who are probably prone to death are young children, elderly, and people with compromised immune systems.
That only scares me away from them more, even though I'm not a baby.
I mean, like, to be afraid, that, like, the reason why I'm so afraid of it is because, like, that's loud.
Somebody blasting music outside.
I'm definitely afraid of the pain. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm just really afraid of the pain of it. But I got it because I guess I wanted just to learn how to respect them more. To better understand, because I mean that is a thing that fear. People tend to hate or destroy the things that they fear most, and that comes from no understanding or lack of respect. And I wanted to learn those from observing and caring for one. And centipedes and all myriapods are ancient creatures that through millions of years of evolution are still here today. Like, that's fucking crazy. I just think it's so cool. I remember watching those old documentaries about, like, dinosaurs and stuff like that, or, like, not even dinosaurs, like, before, the periods before dinosaurs, where, like, the Earth was still so ancient, and it's like it was just mostly insects who ruled the Earth. Like, that shit was just, that was crazy. That was crazy, and that was cool. And, yeah, so that's why I just wanted to be able to learn to love them, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, care is easy. I literally have to feed him 2-3 times a week, and it's just a cricket. I literally throw it in there, and you kind of just wait around for it to come out and get it. And it is actually kind of cool seeing it eat, because like somebody described it as it being meticulous as an anteater and striking like a viper, and that is literally what it does. Because it has its little antennae, and it like searches around, and then when it finds its prey, it strikes. It's so fast.
How do you even clean its cage without?
You don't.
Okay.
You don't have to clean it.
Okay.
That is something that was recommended, is not to do that. If there is mold, if there is problems, definitely. And what you would do is I would probably have to take what they would use for snakes. I'm trying to think what they're called. Forceps. I would have to put it in another bin and then clean it.
I just imagine Wenzel with like the snake handler hook, but with the centipede lowered into a bucket.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to do, because they can stretch their bodies out. like not only are they long, they can also stretch out too.
It's like, I don't want to see this thing to get longer than it already is.
Yeah. But currently though, the plastic bin I have it in, I need to upgrade it. Its dirt or its cocoa fiber is high enough that like it can burrow, but also not too high that it can just crawl right out. So that's nice, but it's still scary. And then it does need water. It can get water from the crickets that it eats. But what you have to do is that I put a dish in there and you overfill it. And once it overfills, moisture gets in the soil, so it can do that. But I have seen it drink from its dish, and it was actually really fucking cute, because it was just like blah, 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 pulling water into its mouth. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I named him Koh, after the face stealer from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
He hungry.
He hungry, yeah. And those are all of my pets, except for Gabby, who will not be named, but I just did.
I'm not afraid of her.
I am.
I'll handle.
I am more afraid of her than any of them.
He brought all the other animals to gang up on her. Just like, I built my army, Gabby. You're going down.
Oh,
that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm building an army to fight Gabby. This is my team. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Maybe you should just buy like one bigger animal that's bigger than Gabby.
Yeah, that's probably one thing that would help. But you just keep buying small animals.
Strength in numbers. I'm the big animal. Me.
You just gotta wait for when she's got the MG42 in that fucking hill on the beach. No, they're just gonna pile up. The bodies are gonna pile up.
Look, we're making a plan. Okay.
Okay.
Special team. But yeah, does anybody have any questions?
Come on, Pat. I know you have something to say.
I mean,
share it with the class.
I mean,
share it.
If you don't have anything, that's fine, because I know I went over a lot, and I didn't say like anything at the beginning of the week, like, hey, if you have questions, write them down. Like, now.
Say it, Pat.
Say it.
What, Pat?
What? Do you have something?
What is
it, Pat?
What is it?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
okay.
What are they?
Yeah, where are my questions, Brain? Tell me.
Where are my hockey pads?
I mean, yeah. Does anybody have any favorite animals? Not from what I talked about, but like I'm talking about like in general. Does anybody have like any animals or pets that they would like?
Animals that I would like to own in the future, just dogs, pretty much, and maybe a cat. And that's where I'm willing to go, because I don't think I would have the patience to take care of super tiny creatures that require a certain amount of care.
I mean, all animals require a certain
Oh,
amount
I
of care.
know. It's just that dogs and cats are pretty damn easy. All you gotta do is clean litter boxes, take them out, walks, all that.
That's not easy.
Well, there's definitely more care requirements with like reptiles, amphibians, and insects because they require like much more meticulous, care in terms of like their feeding, their like temperature regulations because
That is true.
Because
That is
like
true.
the word I used at the top of the show, poikilothermic, means their body temperatures are sort of like very inconsistent and they require a lot of outside factors,
Yeah.
and that's sort of why it needs more thought and care and experience and sort of taking care of these animals. So like even you'll go to a pet store and the ones that do have like reptiles and amphibians, they'll have like easy, beginner, hard, because I've seen chameleons at certain pet stores and they are definitely the hardest to take care of. It looks like.
Oh yeah, chameleons are very, very hard. And I remember originally researching. I was like, oh, I want a chameleon. I looked up essentially the level of difficulty. Very, very hard, only for like very experienced keepers. And it's just like, and it is like an understatement for like how these pet stores have them labeled. Like I can't remember the difficulty level they have them in there, but I'm pretty sure they just kind of put them as maybe medium, or like they don't really advertise like how hard it is to care for them. Because it's very difficult. And I'm not attacking you, Colt. What I'm trying to say is, anybody listening, any animal like you said, Pat, any animal requires real care. And when it comes to dogs and cats, like they require just as much attention and care as you would give to any amphibian, reptile, or spider. Because like Colt mentioned, for dogs, you have to take them out to walk, you have to train them to use the bathroom outside, you have to care for any medical or health issues, you have to buy them certain foods, you have to also develop like an emotional relationship with them.
That's a thing about cats and dogs. It's like it's easier to do that because you can pet them constantly and just hold them constantly, because that's what I do, baby. I love them doggies.
Yeah.
But with
for
like
sure.
with a frog like Jabba, you can't pet him because he's got sensitive skin.
Because I guess that's another sort of consideration you have to take in mind when you have animals like reptiles and amphibians, that a lot of these are more like observational pets. Like like you said, they're just not really meant to be handled, or is physically disadvantaged for the animal to be handled.
Yeah, I will say for crested geckos, they're easy. They're a beginner because of the fact that you can handle them. You can handle them up, like usually recommended like intervals is like 10, 15 minutes. You can handle them for pretty long times. They get used to it, and they're friendly, very friendly. But Pac-Man frogs or any frogs, you can't unless you're wearing amphibian safe gloves, and even then 5 to 10 minutes. And then centipedes, no, you're not. You're never gonna want to handle them. Or tarantulas, no, you never want to. It's just like you said, purely observational. And as you get up the ladder of like different reptiles and amphibians, it's like they become more and more observational, or cares different and whatsoever. Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask is, like, even though you think of like cats and dogs have personalities or quirks, have you noticed any with your animals? I know lizards and amphibians are kind of like on a different scale of like animal, like I guess intelligence and like I guess demonstrative actions. So like, are there at least any interesting things that you notice about your lizards at least?
Well, like I said before, Bossk, when he knows he's gonna be fed crickets, he'll literally, like, if he's hiding or sleeping, he'll come out. Like, he hears me, he'll come out and look at me, and then that's when he'll fire up, and his eyes will get really wide. His pupils will get really wide. It's so cute. It's literally like puppy dog eyes. He'll look at me, and he's ready. He's like, "You're gonna feed me right now." And then, and Sleater's different in the fact that she's more calm and she's more used to handling, and she's much more. Both are very curious, but but she's not as aggressive as Bossk. So I guess there's like that kind of difference in personality. But with geckos, you don't really get them for that, because they're not as developmental as dogs or cats. But yeah, that's what I've noticed. Jabba is a fat little fuck who sits and waits. That's all he does. And I love him. I love him for that. He's great.
Well, the pictures you've shown us, I do think it's funny because you have all these like more or less very vibrant or at least active animals, and Jabba is just like this squat little blob that sits in a hole and that he doesn't ever move.
That's it. And he only moves when he takes a shit. That's only when he moves, and it's just so funny because like because there's this huge indention, and I just see a big flopping turd. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
It's like, well, I can't shit in my sitting hole, so I got to burrow somewhere else.
Exactly, and yeah, yeah, that's fun. I enjoy them. I love them.
Now I was going to ask, do you plan to getting any more pets, or are you sort of satisfied where you are right now?
Right now, I'm very satisfied. I just do not have the room. Jabba takes up like a huge corner of my room, and I have to. Right now, what they're in is pretty small, so they fit. But I have to eventually upgrade Sleater and Bossk because they're getting so big. They're going to be they're going to be mature. Almost mature by May, and that's also when I leave for the Philippines, and that's a problem because they need water, they need that misting, that humidity, so I have to upgrade them to pretty much the max or the minimum for mature adults, which is 18-inch by 18-inch by 24-inch terrariums, and they're very big and very expensive, and that's going to take up a lot of room. But pretty much no, I'm not thinking about getting anything else at the moment.
I guess the spinoff to that would be time and money being no object. What would you like to have in the future?
Ooh, yeah, what would I like to have? Oh man, there are so many I do want. I would definitely want because most of them are wild caught or field collected. I would want captive bred, and captive bred are expensive, but that's fine because the object is no money. I'd want a tokay gecko. They look beautiful. They're blue and orange. They're so pretty. And if I could get there's like different morphs of them. If I could get a patternless powder blue, so pretty. That's my dream. That's what I want. I'll show you a picture.
As while looking that up, I will say one of our, other than the two dogs we have now, it's one of our first animals when we moved into this new house. We had a special encounter with a house gecko in the basement, and it was a fat little dude.
That was huge. Cody sent a picture of it, and that thing was big.
Yeah, he was a big boy.
This is a powder blue.
Oh,
tokay.
wow, that's pretty.
Tokay gecko, yep. Very pretty. There's even another, their morphs are slowly starting to be coming out. There's even a type that's black. Just pure black, and it's so
we get like Gucci geckos going on.
Yeah, Gucci geckos, man. They're very expensive, but I would definitely want one. And also just tokay geckos are known as the pit bull geckos.
The pit bull geckos, because
they are aggressive, and when they bite, they have that strong jaw, and they will not let go.
I thought they were Mr. Worldwide.
Nah, they're not Mr. Worldwide. No, they're very angry and aggressive, but they can be tamed, which is cool. Yeah, I'd want that. Also, me and Cole have talked about it, but just another. If I had the room, I would buy a tomato frog.
Yeah,
tomato frog is that even fatter than the Pac-Man frog?
They're about the same size. They're both fat, and I love them. They're not aggressive like Pac-Man frogs, and they just look cute. They just look cute. Hold on, let me find it. There we go.
Tomato
frog.
Tomato.
Oh man.
Yep.
He's a fat little chunker. I love him.
Yeah, very pretty. Very easy to take care of as well. Any other questions anybody has?
Have you seen one of them throw it back at any point in time? And do you have footage? If that is a yes.
I've seen Gabby throw it back.
All right, man. Where's the footage?
I don't have it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And now it's just the point of the show where Wenzel brings out all of his animals for us to see.
I almost thought about that. I was like, man, would it be cool to have like a little show and tell? No, I would not recommend anybody doing that.
He just put them all in one box and he has them here. And then you open it, it's just the centipede with bones.
And it just launches out. It goes straight for Jonathan's throat.
That is something scary about centipedes is because I watched a video of it. If they get really nervous or scared, they will fling themselves out of a box.
No,
No matter how
thanks.
tall it is, they will fling themselves. It's fucking insane. It's so scary. I get scared. That's why I'm so scared of him.
Somehow I pictured you owning a praying mantis at one point too.
I would. That actually is something that is pretty big in the hobby. Is praying mantis. People will breed them and sell them.
I've seen quite a few like Instagram pages that have like praying mantis as their pets, or like quite a fefew orchid mantises too.
Yeah, no, there's one guy I follow. He is probably one of the biggest mantis breeders on the internet. He breeds orchid mantises. It's really cool, and ghost mantis. Those are really cool too. I would definitely want to own those. They don't live long, but they're very pretty. So if that's it, I guess time for plugs.
Yeehaw!
All right.
Also, round of applause for Wenzel hosting and showing us about his favorite things.
Thank you. I'm glad thank you for you stuck around. Thank you, and thank you everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. I really love animals and I love my pets. Yeah, I'm glad I could share them with you, information about them. But thank you for listening. You can follow us, All You Can Hear, our podcast, on Twitter at AYCH Podcast. You can check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Overcast as All You Can Hear. You can check out our Instagram at AYCH Podcast. You can check out our letterbox at All You Can Hear. You can check out our Facebook, All You Can Hear. You can check out our Twitch at twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear. And you can check out our YouTube at All You Can Hear.
I am Colt.
I didn't even plug myself. What the fuck?
Fucking shit.
And you can
I'm
follow
sorry.
me, Wenzel, on Twitter at WenzelWilkie. Follow my art Instagram at WillowWenzy. Thank you so much. All the people that aren't rude like Colt.
You were looking in my direction. I was assuming it was over, and I wasn't paying attention.
No, I get it. I understand. I'm sorry.
All right, my name's Colt. You can follow me on Twitter at ColtD00. Do not put animals in socks.
Do not.
I'll say it again. Do not do that.
Please don't do that.
It's been an outbreak. Don't.
This is Patrick. Thank you all for listening. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at John Lost His Name. You can follow my art on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art.
My name is Jonathan. You can follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd at JohnOwnSon12.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.